Hey, this is Jerry from Adventures in Homebrew, and I figured I'd put together a quick little video to show the different parts of the Fastfermenter conical fermenter that I just got, just to go through a couple things that are there. Obviously, right there you've got the fermenter body that's going to hold, I think it's 7.5 gallons total. And then what comes with the kit is this nice little beauty right here. That's your collection ball that's going to go at the bottom. You can use that to harvest the yeast and everything like that. If you want to, it comes with these nice sturdy mounts that go into your wall, and so that way it can hang from your wall. Just make sure you hang it from a stud, because 7.5 gallons or 7 gallons or whatever you're putting in there, that's going to add some weight, so make sure you put it to a stud so it doesn't rip out of the wall. And they give you some nice hardware for that too, so that's a good thing. And then let's see, we've got things that come in the kit, like the this is the union. This is what allows you to turn it on and off. You can see that as you turn it, it closes out, so that way you can take off the collection ball and switch it out. So that's a good thing. They've got a nice little hose bib, so you can put that on there, and it's got the barbs on it so you can attach your hose right to it. They give you a tiny hose with it, so that can hook under the bottom, but they also give you the clamp so you can use that as well. Some things that also are in there. This is the Thermowell adapter. It goes right into the side, and it'll screw in just like that. Apparently they've gone through and they've made the top much better than what it was. They've included a nice rubber grommet in there to kind of help the seal as well. They sent a three-piece airlock with it, and then also the bag of all the different things in there. Now, some different upgrades that you can go through and get, when I say upgrades, you know, things that can help you out. I was lucky enough to get a second collection ball, and then also got the thermometer that goes right in there, so that's all set, so you can monitor your temperature. And I'm not going to actually be mounting it on my wall. I'm going to be using this. It's a nice metal frame. It'll sit directly on the floor, and then the Fastfermenter will fit in on it just like that. So that way, you know, the ball will be on the bottom. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of go through a quick setup of it and show the different parts of that as it goes through. One of the first parts of setup is you want to make sure that you use the Teflon tape to wrap around any of the threads that go on, and make sure that when you wrap this tape on that you do wrap it going the same direction as how you're going to screw it in. So in this case you're going to screw it in clockwise, so make sure that it's going on clockwise. The rule of thumb, I guess, for how much Teflon thread should really go on there is probably 1 or 2 times around, past a full time, and then pull it tight. So you see I've got a nice bit on there. So now I'm going to take that, and on the conical fermenter, there's my hole there, so I'm going to kind of roll this down a little bit, and here we go. We're going to just drop that right in there now that it's got the threads. I'm going to screw it in. A warning with this in the directions is make sure that you don't over tighten it to ruin the screws, but you know, obviously make sure that it's tight enough so it doesn't leak out. And just to make sure that I'm going to water test this for a couple days just to see what happens and make sure that there's no leaks coming out of there. So I made sure I hand tighten that, so that's good. Now I'm going to go through, and you know, you're sitting there going, how do I make sure to wrap it the correct way? You know, think about it in terms with your thumb and then wrapping it around, and so I need to wrap it this way. Now this this joint is a little bit bigger, so I'm going to start at the top and I'm going to wrap it around and go from there. So the key with this is to make sure that it is tight. so it really gets a good seal on there. Because we don't want to have any leakage going on here. And then you just pull it tight, and there we go. So that one's all wrapped. You can see that. And let's see, I think there's I gotta wrap the collection ball thread as well. So again, on this, you want to make sure that you're going clockwise. It's a really important idea, because otherwise the tape will just bunch up and then it causes some problems. And there we go. We got that all done. So that's those 3 spots. So I've got that. So let's go through and attach things now. So this valve goes through and it opens and closes. So we got to make sure that we get this set up the right way. Okay, this next piece just goes on like this, and I've already gone through and put on the Teflon tape, and I'm going to screw this down. So there we go. So now that's on nice and solid. And this part right here is where the connection ball goes. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that up just so that's all set, ready to go. So with the connection ball, I'm going to basically, it's going to go a little bit like this. The top is going to just pop into there. And so it hangs through. So there we go. And then raise this up a little bit here. That part just screws on there. Make sure that this is all tight. That's going to drop right in like that. Now, say this is a nice thing with this is the ball is just a little bit above floor level at this point. So now really pretty much just a little bit more of the setup, and then we'll be good to go. So one of the side steps that you got to do is you got to take this little grommet and you got to get it into your hole for your airlock here. So as you can see, pops through quite easily, so you just kind of work your way around it. So it gets in, there's a little groove that it sits in, and you just kind of roll it out. So after I've sent that around the room once, we'll just kind of make sure that that's nice and rounded through. That's going to help with your airflow. That will end up screwing onto here. Now when you screw this down, it's forcing that rubber seal to go right on there. So that's all set. And eventually when I brew with this, my airlock will go right in there. Hopefully not popping the rubber grommet through like I just did. So that's a little blooper, but that's okay. So see, even the best laid plans fall through. You know, the rubber grommet just popped through. So I've got to go through and reattach that. That's okay, it shows that it's removable. So now that I've got that there, I'm going to twist and hold it on the bottom this time. Oh, look at that, it stayed in, it didn't pop through. So that screws back on when I'm ready to go. And really, the last step that I've got to do with what I've got going on is take my thermometer. There's my thermal well right down here. It goes right in there. Boom. Thermometer's all set. And really, I'm ready to brew. And so there it is. Fastferment Conical fermenter in the stands. And we'll see what happens when I do my first brew in here.